Good morning, everyone. I'm here today with yet another Throwback Thursday history video. For today's video, we're going to be talking about a man who is, to say the least, incredibly important to our county's history. Some might even say that without him, there would have been no Muhlenberg County, at least not by that name. Today's video is about the Godfather of Muhlenberg County, Captain Henry Rhoads Jr. Henry Rhoads Jr. was born in Pennsylvania in 1739 to the best of our knowledge, although some records suggest that he may have been born in Germany. His parents, Henry Sr. and Catherine, certainly were German immigrants to Pennsylvania sometime around or just before Henry's birth, and we do know that one way or another, Henry Jr., our Henry, was raised here in the United States. We also know that he entered the military when war was declared with Britain. Henry attained the rank of captain while serving under General John Peter Gabriel Muhlenberg in the Revolutionary War. After his service during the war, Rhoads traveled south with several members of his family and other settlers, eventually ending up here in what would become the Green River region of Kentucky. He was first a little north of here, however. In fact, after arriving in this part of the country, Henry laid out the town of Rhoadsville, or what we now know as Calhoun, before he traveled farther south. After leaving Rhoadsville, Henry briefly lived near Hartford, and he eventually settled on about 7,000 acres of land he had received in return for his military service in what was, at the time, Logan County, Kentucky. Rhoads built a house on that land in 1792, the same year Kentucky became its own state. He settled in and began serving as a state representative for Logan County. In 1798, when the state legislature began considering the formation of a new county out of the northern portion of what was then Logan, Henry Rhoads suggested that the new county, which included his own property, be named for his old military commander, General Muhlenberg. His proposal was deemed appropriate, and just like that, Muhlenberg County was born. Since his property was located in the area that formed this brand new county, Henry Rhoads thus became the first state representative of our Muhlenberg County. Henry Rhoads continued to stay active in public service. Although he did turn down some roles that were offered to him, he did serve in others. He helped with the planning for the first courthouse in the new county seat, Greenville, and also served as a town trustee. Impressively, Henry Rhoads' house, the one he built in 1792 when he settled in this area that became Muhlenberg, still stands in the southern part of the county, and it is even still owned by some of his descendants, although the owners now live out of state. Not surprisingly, it is the oldest house in Muhlenberg County. Unfortunately, the structure is in ill repair these days and would likely be very costly to repair and restore, although of course we would love to see that work be done. Additional siding has been added over the original logs at some point, and other small changes were made throughout the years, but the basic structure is the same. The 230-year-old house is located on what is now Highway 70 just outside of Browder. A historical marker dedicated to the legacy of the Godfather of Muhlenberg County is in place across the road from the house. Henry Rhoads Jr. died in 1814, still in Muhlenberg County, and was buried not far from his home. This cemetery, now known alternately as the Browder Cemetery or Rhoads Family Cemetery, is still easily accessible to this day. Several years ago, a new grave marker with more information about Henry Rhoads' life and legacy was placed between Henry and his wife Elizabeth's original stones, which are also still visible in the cemetery. There are also still Rhoads family descendants in this area, although some have moved away. The Rhoads family helps maintain the cemetery, and they were responsible for the placement of the historical marker and the new tombstone. They have an annual reunion and maintain a Facebook page to help family members stay in touch. We are fortunate that Henry's house still stands, and with luck, something can be done to preserve the remaining structure. It would be a shame to lose it, and I know the Family and Cemetery Association members agree. Of course, it would be a costly pursuit, we all understand that. But it would be wonderful to see the home of one of our county's original founders still standing for generations to come. And now, before I close for the day, I have great news to share about Thistle Cottage. As you probably all know, Thistle Cottage has been closed for some time while we completed renovations and moved the collections of the History and Genealogy Annex into our building. And then COVID hit, along with countless other unexpected issues and setbacks. But the time has come, and we are so incredibly excited to announce that we are finally ready to open our doors to the public. We're going to start off slowly and ease back into things, particularly since we are welcoming some new staff members to the fold. If you visited what we called the History Annex before the move to Thistle Cottage, you probably worked with Connie or Rhonda or maybe even a different earlier staff member, but sadly they have retired. We of course miss them dearly, but we have hired 2 additional staff members, Kathy Sparks and Mary Turner, to fill those positions. Kathy and Mary have been with us for a few months now, helping us finalize all the work in the archives at Thistle Cottage and being trained, as well as fulfilling research requests that we received by phone or email. And after working with them personally over the past few months, I can tell you they are just as excited to meet all of you face to face as we hope you will be to meet them. To start off with, since the archives have undergone so many changes all at once, we will be open by appointment only. This will allow us to offer plenty of time and attention to each researcher who comes in, as well as accounting for the intermittent staff shortages that we, like most everyone else, are still dealing with. We are scheduling appointments now to begin next week, so if you'd like to stop by and utilize our collections, all you'll need to do is give us a call at 270-338-4760 to reserve your time slot. Unlike before, now all of our local history materials are in one location, making it easier for researchers and history buffs to access those collections. We have all of the archives, books, records, and other research materials on the lower level of Thistle Cottage, while physical artifacts will be exhibited upstairs in the museum section of the building. When you visit us for your research appointment, you'll simply come to Thistle Cottage, located at 122 South Cherry Street in Greenville, and enter through the lower level doors on the side of the building to begin your history or genealogy research. The upper level will remain closed for hopefully just a few more weeks, as we can finally turn some of our focus away from the remote research requests and improvements in the archives to finish up our new exhibits upstairs. Be watching for us to announce the reopening of the museum level as well, again, hopefully very soon. Please be aware that this is all still pretty new to us as well, and at this point things are still subject to change as we see what works and what doesn't. Please be patient with us, but most of all, please believe us when we say that we are incredibly excited to finally be able to welcome you all in person again. It's been a long and at times very frustrating process, but hopefully all of that's in the past. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call us or use the contact form on our website. We can't wait. I can't wait. We've been looking forward to this for so long. And if you're enjoying these monthly history videos, don't worry. I do plan to continue these as long as my time allows me to do so. So, barring any disasters between now and then, I will be back next month with another new Throwback Thursday history video. Thank you for joining me again this morning, and hopefully I will see you soon. Have a great week, everyone.